Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Okay, so I caused some problems there, and I don't know what I did, but it caused some problems. I'm back. We're ready. Let's see. But the important part is I think I fixed the chat commands. I think they're fixed. Somebody give it a try. Patty was first. Let's see. Bingo! We did it. The chat commands are fixed. We can celebrate with some more music in the background here for a little bit. Bacon. I like that one. We'll have to make something out of that for sure. Bacon is good. Everything's working again. The world is a good place again. Everyone's getting their reserved seating. Oh, that's finally good. It was weird. The whole morning show. Nobody on the front row in the reserved seating. It was a little awkward for me, but now everything's getting back to normal. So that's good. We're happy with that. That is fantastic. Let's go back here. I think we want this one here. There we go. I thought to Debbie's like, may I have another red cable? Yes, of course you can. But first I have to point out that Miss L, if I put your chat on screen, that will even be better. Miss L has won the internet, which it's a good day to have it because now everything's working, hopefully. I've got my fingers crossed. Hopefully that's the case. But congratulations, Miss L. You take over for the rest of the day. We just wanted to have a little bit of fun today because there may be a court thing going on right now, but I haven't been able to find a good one to watch with you. Nothing that I would want to drag you away from all the important things you're doing today. If you see one out there that we should watch together right now, let me know, and I might, change my mind. That's what I'm saying. Change my mind. We can do that for sure. But I did want to show you a couple things. We had a little bit out of Knoxville. We had a courtesy of Police Pursuits, the YouTube channel. We're going to share a small video involving a police pursuit of a pizza delivery vehicle, which I think is fantastic. It's always nice when they do a pursuit, a pit maneuver over 100 miles an hour, and it's just a bonus when they have pizza in the car. So we're going to watch that. We're going to maybe, I don't know if we get bored, we might even go down to Polk County and see something they had put out in the last week or so. But thank you all for being here. On a Globe, Izzy, Golden Mom, 6 Volt, Miss Christina, Pat, Pauline, Lucy, Norma, Well Mama's here. Good afternoon to you. Golden Girl again, I think I got you already. Patty P, Natty Bell, Irene, Carol Martin, Lucy. I saw you with the hashtag or the command for bacon. We're going to have to think of something. I might actually get some commands from Sheriff Grady Judd out of Polk County. We might put some of his audio on here because he's just a classic. Let's see, Miss Chris, Kimberly, thank you. Gordon, Sunshine and Sunflowers. Mac, this morning was a little bit of a cluster. Couldn't get the chat commands working, but I fixed it. I will tell you, let me get just a little side note here. I'm a tech guy, right? I like technology. I like computers. I work with servers. I worked with some of the largest and most important servers that our government owns. Without going into too much detail, I've been on the inside of a lot of those. And when it comes to things technical, I'm pretty good. And so it's really frustrating when you call a tech support because I've done all the troubleshooting, right? I know what's not working, and I've done all my tests, and I've isolated the issue, and I finally have to get a hold of the support guys because I think that they're the only ones that can fix it. And I contact them, and they respond with a script. So I spelled out in great detail exactly the issue I was having with these commands and why certain things were working, certain weren't, why it pointed to a problem being in a certain location. I did all that, and they respond. They respond and tell me that I have my settings wrong in Twitch. In Twitch, which is not YouTube, but in Twitch. I do not stream on Twitch. And for them to go that, I just knew I was beating my head up against a rock. So I went and I did the hard thing on my end, and I basically created a backup of everything I had, went and deleted everything and recreated it, logged back in again, reformed all the connections and permissions, reloaded the backup, and got it working again. So we're back. And they still have not responded after I told them it's YouTube, not Twitch. So we'll wait to see what they have to say. But I fixed it myself. Thank you. And so now we're working. Good afternoon, Sharon. Good to have you here. Miss Chris says, pickles. We'll need that one for sure. Right on. Thank you. Natalie, Missy Pants. Red Pen, present. Good. You're all on time. You're all on time here. Debbie's here. T-Rock, Suzanne. Probably JB up in Canada as well. We'll call out JB's name as well for the role. The Creative Bee says, late. No, you're still good. But you could have been 5 minutes earlier, but you're still good. Things are working. Okay, so now I really need to make those commands that we're stuck on before. But thank you all for being here. We're gonna watch a little bit of fun stuff just to kick it off, a celebration. And thanks for your patience this morning. But I guess we have to do a little vote first, a little poll in chat. We'll make a poll here. Let's say which one first. And the options are Knoxville or Chase. And that, I think I spelled everything right. So there's a poll up right now. We're going to run a pretty short poll, but I'm going to let you vote which one we're going to start with. If you want the high-speed chase or if you want the action out of Knoxville. Both of them are good clips, but we'll give people just a minute to vote here. Oink and bacon. We need a couple of those. Name, is name working? Miss Chris, do I have name? Oh yeah, I do. Is it? Oh, the audio isn't. Hang on one second. Hold tight there. Do I have? Okay, let me fix this. Okay, you guys are 100% right. Just one second. This is an easy fix though, because this is on my end. I have to turn this audio off and this audio on. Route it through my headphones. Crank the volume up. And there it is. Okay, so now seat. Oh, sorry. Now name, subject matter, jurisdiction, and what is it? Seat, lawsuit are all working. Okay, so those ones work. And I think I still have testing in there too. I'm not sure. That was something I did myself. What was that? I think testing is still working.
By gosh, make them work for it.
Yeah, I put an audio in there for that. Okay, so this, and it says this works. So testing responds that it works. All right, so I find Knox very depressing and sad. So many people are really troubled people. There's some sad people, and some of them are just bad dudes. And we get a bad dude here today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the poll because we want to get right to the action here today. So if you haven't voted in the next 5 seconds, you can forever hold your peace, I guess.
Make them work for it.
So, let's see. And the poll looks like you guys voted for, we're starting with the Chase. 59% say Chase and 40% say Knoxville and 1%, we just never know. YouTube just doesn't tell us. The rounding is a little odd. So the Chase is over here. I will tell you the audio starts out very loud in one ear. I'm going to turn the sound down just a little bit. We miss a little bit of radio traffic when I do that, but we save our hearing, which is important. So let's give it a shot here. Okay, so look at the speed here, 105 miles an hour already. This is courtesy of Police Pursuits. Thank you very much. But the vehicle we're chasing is the pizza delivery car. And I believe this is Arkansas State Police. Here, first of all, it just about gets a pit right here. 80 miles an hour, 83, 90, 95. Back into triple digits. Hot pizza is very important. $113, where it's a little tap on the back end there. 113 looks like he spun at 108. We don't see it, but the car flips here off to the side. Police car goes to go around, but no, the car made a full rotation, made it back on the wheels, and he'll continue on going in back of the police car this time. Officer backs up. The chase vehicle is now in the lead. Number 2 is up there. He's going to follow a pit maneuver as well. Get it this time, and for good measure, yeah, let's do that. Okay, this is now vehicle 2. Now vehicle 2, okay? This is the chase vehicle. You're going to see the primary vehicle try to make these initial pits. We'll see what happened. Why is it being chased? It's actually a stolen pizza car. Stolen pizza delivery car. So probably no pizzas were harmed in this. So there's the... Oh, I thought it was a flip. It was not a flip. So he just spun and gets back on the road. So this is hit number 4. He corrects, saves it. Little rear end tap, just give him a little speed there. And number 5, another pit, spins him around, and the other officer comes and just clocks him.
37, roll over, you missed! Hands up! Hands up! Do it now! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Do it now!
Patty, I'm sorry, this officer right in front of the car is the one who rolled. That's why all his gear and his radio is not attached to his belt, and he's all over the place. He's a little shook up.
Hold her. You good?
You good? He keeps looking at his shoulder. I'm wondering if he's a little bit sore. Probably got tossed around in that car pretty good when it rolled.
17, you're all right, bro. Roll over.
And that's where it ends right there. Okay, so that's pizza. Pizza is 30 minutes or less, and it's free. Patty.
There's a lawsuit.
Very much. Let's see. We'll put your message on here. It says, Patty, my brother was paralyzed after a police chase. He was a passenger. Troopers chased car after running toll for about 75 cents. Family sued troopers and won. Yeah, that is crazy. The passengers in the vehicle are not always willing participants in the chase. It's not always very easy to get out of the vehicle. But yeah, so it looks like Arkansas is going to need yet another vehicle. The information I have on this one is that one happened. Oh, let me double check that here. Oops, where was that? Did I just delete it? It was posted 2 days ago, so I'm thinking this is pretty good. Let me look at the screen again.
$95 is for wife and $5 is for pickles. Cause we all know who is in charge, LOLD.
Kolivar, my man. Oh my goodness. You know the wife is watching. Mrs. RA is going to, I don't know why it doesn't render very well. I need to fix this. Super generous super chat. Thank you very much. She is in charge, and rightfully so. Let me see if I can fix the super chat. Right here. That's not it. Okay. $95 is for wife and $5 is for pickles, because we all know who's in charge. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Good to have you in here as well. Colvar's a good guy. I talked to him quite a bit offline as well, and he's I can just say he's a good guy offline as well as online. Let's see So yeah, that was the pizza. The frozen pizza doesn't look so bad now. Does he get grand theft on the car and petty on the pizza? Depends on what the pizza is. If the pizza had like anchovies or something, I'll probably just ROR him on that. But if it was like Hawaiian pineapple or maybe a combination, that could be well above a misdemeanor. Let's see. What baffles me is how these people think they're going to get away from the cops. And most of these people run because they have a warrant or something definitely not worth running for. Yeah, we're going to, the next one, Mrs. R.A. just came in and said, I'm holding him to that. Colivar, she saw it. She's watching. Thank you so much. This next one, the Knoxville stream. You've got a gentleman who also tries to escape from the police. And you'll see right off the bat that something's not quite right with him medically. Let's see if I can get here. Here we go. Let's pull this guy up here. So this is out of Knoxville. This was, I believe it was Sunday. Now this magistrate is she's really kind, quite honestly. She almost always waives the administrative fee, which is a junk fee. Honestly, it's just the city charging a criminal a fee. You know, they're already in a bad way, or they probably wouldn't have been committing crime. Okay, it's they're compounding the issue, and it just adds on to their court fees and stuff. And I'm not a big fan of adding on fees just for appointing a public defender because you can't afford an attorney. I think we as a taxpayers should probably foot that bill, even though it's frustrating for some of us to pay for criminals.
What's your name, sir?
Everything. They're not convicts yet.
March.
No.
Keith March.
That headwear he's wearing is not a fashion statement.
You say canon will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, I can appoint one for you. Did you fill out an affidavit?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you swear or affirm everything in your affidavit is true?
He's it looks like he had a little bit of a bump on his head because one eye's completely swollen shut.
In Knoxville?
A little bit over 18 years.
Okay. And your affidavit says that you're employed at Magnolia
Provision.
Show me
What's
your
that?
cheese.
It's a jerky place.
Okay. All right, and you make, it says 15, is that 15 an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what do you make? Do you get paid by the week or?
Bi-weekly, yeah.
Every other week? How much do you make every other week?
Probably like 500.
Okay, and that's after taxes?
No, it's every week.
500 a week?
Yeah.
So that would be 1,000
Yes.
bi-weekly? Okay.
So he's making $52,000 a year, roughly. I think that's after taxes.
And I'm going to check your criminal history.
Okay, this might take a little bit. She's going to go ahead and just take a peek at that criminal history. Just scroll through those pages here.
Okay, 2009 conviction for resisting.
Okay.
Conviction for resisting 2010 that was, I guess, bound over.
Doesn't like being arrested.
Conviction for theft, evading arrest 2010.
Okay.
Also aggravated burglary and evading conviction.
He's a lot of evading.
Conviction for aggravated kidnapping and robbery.
Okay, that's an issue, minor.
Stalking and evading arrest in 2011. Evading arrest conviction 2012.
There's a lot of evading on here.
Aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault. Theft, reckless endangerment, interference with emergency call, and evading arrest conviction 2017. Okay, so we're hopefully past all that. Let's get to 2023 here.
So he's had a couple years of
It also says that you were wanted I guess it's Iowa, for failure to appear on a marijuana charge. They said limited extradition, so I don't know if they're going to do anything about it or not. Okay, and also prior arrests in Roane County for violation of drinking age law, resisting arrest, violation. Okay, that's also, that was back in 2013. Okay, good. Okay, so today we've got...
I did the math. I doubled it in my head. Sorry about that.
We've got a big felony, which is possession of a weapon by convicted felon. That's a B felony. That supposedly happened on Sunday, January 8th.
That was yesterday.
Early this morning at Marable Pike. It said that officers observed a black Hyundai Sonata traveling south on Marable Pike, crossed the solid yellow line twice, and did not maintain the lane of travel. He performed a traffic stop and came in contact with the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, Keith March. Asked for proof of a driver's license. He could give an ID only. He was going to took him out of the vehicle to pat him down for weapons.
What's he going to do?
As he started to perform his pat down, The arrestee took off running towards
Takes
Main
off running.
Avenue.
This is his MO.
Brief foot pursuit, deployed his county-issued taser. Taser was effective, causing the arrestee to fall to the ground. After
Taser.
the arrestee began reaching to his waistband as if to retrieve something. In fear that it could be a firearm, he cycled the taser again.
Hit him again.
And asked the arrestee to place his arms spread out on the ground where he could see him. And the arrestee continued to reach for his waist. So he drew his county-issued firearm and continued to give the order to see his hands while cycling the taser.
Oh, so 3 times while cycling the taser. That means at least 3 times he lit him
Sounds
up.
worse than what it was.
Yeah,
Sounds worse.
And,
It looks pretty bad.
And anyway, and then he
From
found some
what we
white
see.
powdery substance with cocaine and a baggie with rock substance believed to be heroin. Okay, well, in any event, first big charge is the possession of the weapon by convicted felon, and that is the B felony charge. I'm going to put an appearance bond on that of $10,000. Okay, then you've got a driving without a license, which is a misdemeanor. I'm going to ROR that.
Oh,
You've
good.
got possession of drug paraphernalia and a simple possession of charge, and those are both going to be, I'll put $1,000 on each of those 2.
So altogether, like 1,200.
That's what it looks like here. Let me make sure I don't have anything else. Okay.
I think
All right, I'm going to do that. So that's $12,000 appearance bond. You can make that through a bonding company if you're able to do so. That's usually $1,200.
yeah, it's a 10% bond
And I'll double check,
Or
make sure you
10%
don't have any
due for
holds
the
or
bonding
anything,
company.
okay?
plus their fees. And
All right. Have you had an attorney appointed to represent you before?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who it was?
I had, for public defender, it was 5 members, and then I had an attorney appointed, it was Mary Ward.
Okay, so Mary Ward was appointed by, was she the most recent case you had?
Oh, yes.
Okay, all right.
I don't ever want her again, though.
Oh, okay.
Apparently he lost that case.
I'm just going to appoint the public defender's office. They have different attorneys, and whoever's going to be in felony court that day, that you're going to be there. So, also, when you bond out, the jail's going to give you a court date, okay? I'm going to give you a backup emergency kind of court date for Tuesday. All right, so that's going to be Tuesday in felony court for a bond hearing. If you're still here on Tuesday, we're going to take you to court and have a bond hearing about why you haven't been able to make your bond, okay? But if you do bond out, the jail will give you a new court date. So just so you know, I'm not leaving you here without an opportunity to appeal whatever I say, okay?
All right.
All right, so there'll be a different judge, and your attorney will be with you at the next hearing, okay?
All right.
All right, so let's see. Let me look and see if I've got anything else that would hold you and not let you out for some reason, okay?
So is Iowa going to hold me?
Is Iowa going to hold me?
That's what I'm going to look for right
Iowa's
now,
where he
okay?
had that the marijuana charge, and it's a small one. They say we're not going to come get him, so don't hold him.
All right, right now it's showing a whole list of charges.
It's a whole list of charges.
Driving on roadways, lane for traffic, evading arrest, to be set, simple possession.
He's got all the traffic offenses as well, right?
I don't know why these, let's make sure they're on here. Looks like there may be a couple of charges left that I haven't done.
I think he's a crackhead just
Let me
bothering.
look-
I think his
let me
head is
check-
cracked
check
open.
again, see if
That's what
maybe they
happened.
hadn't been served yet. March.
What were they?
There were 3 more charges that were on that list that I didn't see.
On the other
Okay?
page,
They're all misdemeanor charges. Okay?
not bad. Misdemeanor
But
is good.
that was what was still left on that list. Okay, so the traffic violation, I'm going to ROR that one, and then the misdemeanor of evading arrest is going to be $1,000 appearance bond, and the simple possession casual exchange is also going to be another $1,000.
Casual exchange.
Casual exchange.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Confession. I'm really
Oh, wow.
happy
That
I
would be
got
like
100
simple possession. It's
parented
not
by the VA
manufactured
disability and
delivery.
it took
It's
a
just a
year.
simple
So I
possession,
got a
having
chunk
drugs.
of change.
All right.
Warning,
Okay, so
it's
that's-
gonna get
I'll put
noisy.
another 2,000 on it. So that
Cool
took
heart.
it to-
You're amazing.
what was it, 12 before,
Thank you so
now it's
much.
14?
Not needed. You're
That's
you're
all right.
you're a gentleman and a
Yeah.
scholar. But appreciate
Okay,
your,
yeah,
your
that gets all
generosity.
of them then. Sorry about that. That was at the bottom of the list and it wouldn't let me scroll down. But I don't see anything in here about the Iowa thing, so they apparently haven't contacted us.
You know,
about-
sometimes
And I'm not sure.
A rough
sure
situation.
I've been keeping in
Running.
contact with them
Yeah.
anyway.
let me pause it for a second. Sometimes a rough situation, a run-in with the law and everything can really change your life around. It's like they sort of knock some sense into you. They definitely tried on this one. I'll say that he appears to have, somebody tried to knock some sense into him. I think what happened is when he got tased, he probably fell and hit his head. That was from the report that I heard. That's what happened. But he got lit up with a taser at least 2 more times. So he was being tased while being held at gunpoint too, and he was continuing to try to evade.
Wait, so
I'm not sure that they would come get you anyway. It doesn't say anything about extraditing you, but
yeah.
but like I said, you ask your attorney about it. They may be able to make a call and find out for you. Okay. I finish printing these off, and then we'll get you a court date and get you out of here. If you can make your bond, which sounds like.
But Culver, it sounds like that's a good deal, the 100% by the
public
VA.
defender, and you're set for the 10th.
I'm happy for you,
in
man.
court, which is Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Well, let's see. Tomorrow's
Monday.
Tomorrow's Monday. Tonight's going to be tomorrow, and then it's going to be Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday's coming up. Like I said, if you bond out, don't worry about the bond hearing, okay? But if you're still here on Tuesday, we'll take you to court. You won't have to make your bond at that point. They might be able to even reduce it a little bit. I don't know. But like I said, that's the best I could do. And like I said, just make sure that you get back on your court date that they give you, okay?
Okay, so we're going to pause here. This gentleman, he has a rap sheet that's pretty long. Most of it is like evading. There's a couple ag assault, little kidnapping, things like that. Believe it or not, those charges can stem from a very small incident where most of us wouldn't think, oh, that's kidnapping immediately. It might be something where you're in an argument and you like hold their arm or something and you're trying to talk to them, and the officer can say, hey, that's kidnapping, and that's the way it goes type thing. When you weren't trying to like kidnap somebody, you were just in a fight and you wanted to get your point across, or an argument or something, you wanted to get your point across and they weren't listening, and it's the wrong thing to do. I'm not defending it, but the charges don't always reflect what actually happened. The charges look worse on paper in a lot of situations, and I think maybe this guy's is that case. He seems like actually a pretty nice guy. He's talking with the judge respectfully. Yeah, he's had some run-ins with the law, but most of it he just doesn't want the law to mess with him. It's mostly just running away.
All right, you're all set.
Are you waiving the administrative fee?
Yes.
Yep, she waives the administrative fee.
Anyway, I can go back over something.
It's a $50 fee. It's not much, but little insult on top of it here. Just a little kidnapping, right?
What's your name, sir?
Logan Harris.
Mr. Harris.
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
I'm not sure if he's about to cry,
Right to an attorney,
or if that's just how his voice sounds.
Did you fill out an affidavit?
Yes, I believe I did.
Do you swear or affirm everything in your affidavit is the truth?
Which hand are you going to put up?
Yes.
Okay.
The wrong one. Okay.
Do you live in Knoxville?
And go for a comb.
Yes, ma'am.
Quick run through the hair, pretend it wasn't on purpose.
My entire life.
And your affidavit says that you're not currently employed?
Yes, I'm not currently employed.
Okay, do you get government assistance like unemployment or disability?
No, ma'am.
He's probably between the 18 and 20 range.
Criminal history real quick.
Checking criminal history.
Mr. Harris.
Okay, the look he gave was more than just need
sleep.
sleep.
You had a couple of cases in November, a DUI and a simple possession charge.
That's not good. November?
That hasn't been completed yet. You've also, since you've been arrested in the past months, like back in November.
High school detention did get tough.
Okay. And you're currently on pre-trial level 2?
Okay, so just a second. This kid's hair looks all messy. He has this move he does that like perfectly positions all his hair in one quick little, flip and comb with the fingers. So watch for that. Watch as he goes from like bedhead to like Fabio in like half a second.
Okay, that's why I can't give you an
Cullivar,
ROR
it's not showing you're a member.
Okay?
Can't give me an ROR?
No.
I think you have to gift yourself a membership before you can give someone else a membership.
On pretrial, and you
I think
pick
that's
up
what
new
happened.
charges. So I can't put you back on pretrial, and I can't give you an ROR.
So
I'm going to have to put a bond on this.
Okay, it's always bad when they know the slang terms, the ROR, the return on your own recognizance, right? But this guy, he's got existing charges from November, possession and DUI, I think, because he. Thank you, Kolivar, for becoming a member. Welcome. Go ahead and type !seat, because now you get to move up to the very front of the courtroom, and the view up in the front is much better. Anyway, so this guy, he's like, oh, you can't give me an ROR? Because that's what he had before, right? So he had the initial DUI and the possession, he got ROR'd. Well, he was out on that one, on pretrial, I guess, at release, and then he committed this one. And so now he's got issues.
You've got a simple possession casual exchange. It said this allegedly happened on January the 7th, 6760 Clinton Highway. There was a drug narcotics violation misdemeanor at 6760 Clinton Highway. Officers got a 911 call to the listed location.
Okay, so Kolivar just came through with 20 gifted memberships. And let me just read off the names of the people that YouTube randomly selected to receive them. Sunshine and Sunflowers, T-Rocks, Daryl Bagley, Geo's Girl, Missy Pants, Johnny Law, Bite Me, Psychic. Oh my goodness. Kolivar, you're amazing. Thank you so much for these guys. Josh Frick, Mary Murphy, Lane RN, Wombat Mommy, Lori N, Vixen, congratulations. Angie, Alicia Bennett, Laura R.A. Watcher, I like that one. Karina, I'm scrolling too fast. I missed something here. Karina and Ann McCord, congratulations. The Scared Owl says, love your vibe, energy, humor, and wit. Your channel is inspiring and encouraging. Ever think of teaching about equipment, sound, and behind the scenes? I would love to. I love the technical side of this. I really do. And if anyone has, if I can be of any assistance to anyone who wants to do something like this and needs help on the technical side, that's what I went to school for. That's what I worked in the media before. I worked in the news. I worked with law enforcement, with media. I've done camera related and live streaming stuff on and off for most of my life, whether it's live streaming, sports, television, TV shows, you name it. If a camera is involved, I've probably been there, as long as it didn't involve, only 21 and older type stuff. So, but yeah, I'd love to help out if I can. And if we need to do a video, we can do that as well. Okay, so let's go back and hear the rest of this boy, because I think he's about to do the hair move that I told you to watch for. Because look at the hair now, get a good look at that, and let's see where it goes.
Made contact with the defendant. At the time officers made contact, he was observed to be unsteady on his feet, had slow, mumbled speech, appeared to be sleepy, drowsy. Defendant was placed in custody. Search incident to arrest revealed defendant had been in possession of 1 gram of heroin and 2 cut straws, and this occurred in Knox County, and they didn't issue a citation because the offense would likely continue. Okay, so I'm going to get you a bond of $500 on the simple possession charge, a bond of $500 on the drug paraphernalia charge, and I'm going to ROR you on the public intoxication.
That wasn't moved yet.
That's a $1,000 appearance bond. That's
Hair's getting worse.
Usually $100 to a bonding company, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to print that off.
I thought he was going to cry there.
And have you had an attorney appointed on your other cases?
Yes.
From November. Who was your attorney?
I don't know the name.
Is it the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these 2 charges also. I'm going to waive the administrative fee for the attorney. And I'll get your court date in a minute.
So now his hair's looking really bad. Here we go. He's got that move, and boom. It's all in place, just like that.
Okay.
Right.
If you can make your bond, you're welcome to do so. They should let you have a phone call here.
I thought that was pretty funny. Okay? Maybe you did.
And if you make your bond, the jail will give you a new court date.
He's just
a
kid. If you
can't make your bond and you're still here on Tuesday.
I think legally he's an
January
adult.
The 10th,
but
today's the 8th. If you're still here on Tuesday, we're going to make
charge
a bond
for
hearing
straws.
for you. And
I think the straws they're talking about just might be drug paraphernalia is what they're talking
why you haven't been able to make a bond, and they might be able to lower the bond or change it or whatever. Okay? But right now, you do have a bond, and you're welcome to make it if you can. And be sure and come back when the jail tells you to. Otherwise, we'll just have you in court on Tuesday, okay? So bond out if you can.
Bond out if you can. It's only going to cost him $100 out of pocket.
Misdemeanor in court?
Yes.
Culliver says, you're very welcome, guys. Blame Recovery Addict. It's all his fault. Culliver, thank you so much. Once again, extremely generous of you. I don't remember what
What's
this
your
guy
name, sir?
what this guy was.
Casey Travis.
But this is the last guy.
Mr. Travis, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one can be appointed for you. Did you fill out an affidavit?
I sure did.
I sure
Swear
did.
or affirm everything in your affidavit is the truth.
Swear.
Swear.
live in Knoxville?
I swear.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Knoxville?
All my life.
Your affidavit says that you're not currently employed. Is that true?
That's true.
Do you get any disability or unemployment benefits?
I don't.
Okay, I'm going to check your criminal history.
Fractured. I wasn't going to say it, but he did go across the nose and then up through the hair. So maybe he has like his homebrew hair gel solution.
Starting 2013, conviction for resisting. 2015, conviction for DUI. Conviction for domestic assault, 2016. Conviction for public intoxication, 2018.
This is the voice you use. Do you guys have a traffic stop voice? I have to ask this. If for those who have been pulled over, what is your MO? What do you do? I mean, do you try the cry thing? Do you try the super respectful thing? Do you flirt to try to, I'm just asking for a friend. Not that I'm going to do any of these, but when you get pulled over, because it happens, most of us, if not all of us, have been stopped for a traffic infraction of some sort. How do you try to get out of it? I'm curious. I'd like to hear what works for you and what doesn't. I've tried the respectful thing and it didn't work for me 3 times over. But that might have had something to do with how much over the speed limit I was driving back when I was a younger one. Let's hear the rest of this guy, though.
Bodily injury assault, 2018 conviction. I've got 1 failure to appear. All right, and then you've got new charges. I've got a new charge here of resisting arrest, which is a B misdemeanor.
Jim Bob.
That supposedly happened January 7th at Casey's Gas on Cumberland Avenue. Officers observed the suspect to have an outstanding warrant and made contact with him. He identified himself as Casey. While attempting to place him in custody, he pulled away by pushing the officer. Once the officer gained control, he attempted to pull, said the defendant attempted to pull his hands away again while trying to place him in cuffs. Suspects were taken into custody.
2 charges?
Okay, so they just charged you with resisting, which is a low-level misdemeanor.
Okay, so
but
just
you
one
already
charge.
have a charge, so I'm going to put a $500 bond on that. Because you have the other cases. So anyway, I'm going to approve that. So that's $500 bond. I'll double check and make sure we don't have anything else that might hold you up from making a bond altogether.
You might want to check
see
page
what those
2.
other cases are happening.
See, Miss Chris says, I apologize.
Okay, let's see.
Miss L says, I've never been pulled over. That's there. You're in the minority, I think. Mrs. M. Hilton
Okay,
says,
looks like you have.
get pissed off. Sorry.
You have. Okay,
for
I set
for
you a
those in the UK,
$500
I'm sorry.
bond. Your DUI second has a $1,000 appearance bond on it, and there's a $10,000 set bond for your attachment on your failure to appear. Okay.
10 G's on the attachment
So
failure
you've
to
got
appear.
$11,500 bond to get out.
That's how much you'd have to
So
put out.
that's
Because it's
$1,150.
$1,150 is his
So
out
you
of
think
pocket
you'll be able to make
plus
that?
the bonding fee.
Probably not.
Not.
Well, that's
I don't
all
have
right,
that type of
because
money,
we're
he
gonna
says.
get you to court pretty quick. So, okay, so we got all that, and so it says Patrick Leonard was your attorney before. It also says Jackson Wetzel. Jackson Wetzel. Do you know if he's with the public defender's office?
He's not no more.
Okay.
Okay, this is another bad sign. When you know the status of all the public defenders and whether they're with the office or not, you're probably in the wrong career as far as life of crime. you shouldn't know on a first-hand basis who was there and who was not, and what their careers are going like. Because the only time you really interact with public defenders is when they're assigned to you. But this guy knows, no, he's not there anymore.
The public defender then to represent you. I don't see any conflict down there.
Are you going to waive the administrative
I'm
fee?
going to put the public defender. I'm going to waive the administrative fee.
Thank you, ma'am. That's what she does almost all the time.
Okay. And I'm going to set you for January the 10th. That's Tuesday.
That's tomorrow.
This is Sunday night. And that's going to be in misdemeanor court. And that's going to be for a bond hearing.
I thought his camera had frozen, but he
And
is
the public
blinking.
defender will be
He
your
just holds it
lawyer.
really still and doesn't shift around very
Like
much.
I said, if you can make your bond, great. But if you can't, like I said, we'll see you on Tuesday, and you can make a motion at that time if you think that your bond is too much or whatever. Your attorney can make a motion with the judge then. Okay?
All right.
Okay. So you're all set.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Going back to your responses, what you do when you get pulled over. Natalie Bell says, I get nervous. What? I'm not sure what was. Oh, I was getting some audio coming through on this that I shouldn't have. Hang on. There we go. Okay, I fixed it. Not sure what the magic number was all about. Let's see. Natalie says I get nervous when I'm pulled over. Jojo Peter says I act stupid. Ann says respectful. Lindsay says I have a naturally lower voice for girls, so I definitely make it higher and crank up the southern twang. Did that work, Lindsay? That's the next question. Did these work? Abby has never been pulled over, only had one parking ticket. Abby, is that because you drive so fast they can't catch you, or are you just that good? Tracy, always super respectful because they deserve it. DMB's never been pulled over. Wow. I get pulled over. I haven't been pulled over in years. I'll say that, but I have been pulled over several times when I first started driving. I usually own it to my mistakes and be like, hey, I know this is what I did. I made a mistake, and usually they let me go with the warning, says that guy. Respectful, says Wayne. Let's see here. I'm going to go through faster through some of these. You guys are going like crazy. Where to go? Right down here. Douglas says, never speak to the police. I shut up and hand them the required papers. Anything can and will be used against you in a court of law. Does that ever get you out of the ticket, Douglas? That's what I'm asking. Because I hear your point, and I understand the reason for why you don't want to say anything and say, I don't answer questions. I've identified myself. Here's my paperwork. That's it. You do your job, and we'll be off. Nancy, I play like I don't know what he's talking about. Miss Chris, I got pulled over last month for running a red light. I did that. I did not get pulled over, but I ran a red light and realized it as a mid intersection, and it's in the middle of the boonies too. I mean, there was no cars within a mile of me. I mean, like no cars, literally. There were just fields and stuff, and there's a stoplight in the middle of nowhere, and I just right through. I wasn't going too fast, but yeah. Anyway, I was talking to my son, not paying attention, so I just admitted it. The respect is the MO. Last speeding, I just pulled over and waited for the cop to turn around. So he didn't even light you up. He's just like, you got me. You got me. Susan says, I cried. I play the dumb act. Sunshine Sunflower says, I immediately start bawling when getting pulled over because of anxiety. I was verbally assaulted by a cop, so I just get all worked up. Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. Never been pulled over except for a mistake the officer made, and then he pulled me over again to give me directions to where I was going.
And looking forward to the Sarah Boone case. We were playing hide and seek and forgot my boyfriend was in a suitcase. Face rolling on the floor laughing.
Nancy, we are so excited about that. We're actually really close. We've got 8 more days for the pretrial hearing, because that's going to happen on the 17th, right? Yeah, so eight more days till the pretrial, and then the end of the month, we should be moving forward. I've been watching there. There's nothing else has been filed by her attorney, trying to, because he Frank Bankowitz originally said, I'm going to. He asked for a motion to withdraw. He filed a motion to withdraw. The judge said no, but when he said no, he didn't do so with prejudice. So he can file it again with more information, or if the situation changes. And I'm hoping it doesn't, because I think it's time to go to court, Sarah. It really is. But thank you very much for the super chat there, Nancy. We will definitely be following that when that comes closer. Okay. Code Brown works. My friend used it in college. I'm not going to explain that one, Golden Mom. I'm just not going to say anything. Let's see. I'm respectful and nice, says Debbie. Hands on steering wheel, be respectful. Still got a ticket. Another time cried and two. So you've tried both. I told one I was wondering if you were going to pull me over or not. So are you? Has anyone tried the flirting thing? So like, is this what I have to do to get your number type line? You know, do you have like a go-to line for the officer? I'm usually annoyed, but I try to keep my feelings to myself. Last time I got pulled over, I honestly didn't know I was going that fast, but I did have a low-cut tank top on and I got off. Okay, JoJo had a warning. Pure coincidence. Honesty usually wins, even when eating all the pickles. My kids just don't own up to eating the pickles. The jar just becomes empty, and nobody knows what happened. I got pulled over for speeding, 120 and a 70. Okay, so this is of the when it comes to speeding, anything 20 or more over the speed limit generally is frowned upon more severely. Okay, so told the officer there was a spider on my right foot and I'm arachnophobic, and I had to kill it with my left foot. I was shaking, and he believed me. I don't try to get out of it. I'm respectful. I got caught speeding in the work zone, got a lawyer, paid $100, reduced to improper equipment. Not bad, Roxanne. Sometimes fighting the system helps. They don't want to, as the judge says from Knoxville, they don't want to work for it. You got to make them work for it, right? What was his, let's see, we've got his little.
You especially want to go to court if it's bullshit charges because you get them thrown out.
Yeah.
By gosh, go down and fight them.
Yep. The one time I did get pulled over, I just told the officer I was on the way to pick up kids for my ex to try to get them to school on time. He just told me to drive careful and get the kids to school. Never tried, just take the speeding ticket. I think I've had 2 in my lifetime. That's not bad. That's not bad. Code Brown. Oh, my goodness. I have a hat with Texas on it and a Patagonia logo inside the state. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, it does. And once we got out of the ticket because the cop asked if it was a thin blue line hat. It's not quite the thin blue line, but close enough, I guess. Do you put the Sheriff's Association sticker on the back of your car, or do you buy the license plate cover that supports the officers? I've heard that works in some places, not in others. Next time I get pulled over, I'm saying I'm going for Thai food. That did not work for Brian Koberger. It did not work for Brian Koberger. I still can't believe he drove all the way from Washington to Indiana, gets pulled over and says he's just going for Thai food. 80s Music Man, never pulled over. Well, hopefully all those people who said never pulled over, hopefully just you admitting to that did not somehow change your karma or your luck in life. If you do get pulled over this week, I had nothing to do with it. It's not my fault. Knock on wood, right? Natalie says, one time a truck hit me and I had to use a rental car. It was a lot faster than my Peachy Cruiser. I got a ticket for doing 90 and a 50, but I got off the ticket. I told the officer I had no idea. It's like this new car, it goes fast so easily. I've been told I drive like a grandma, so I've never been pulled over either, says Maria. I have a boyfriend who's a lawyer, had illegal U-turn, pled down to driving in the rain without lights on. Oh my goodness. The whole plea down thing just surprises me. Like the lesser included.
There's a lawsuit.
He looks shocked. I actually got off a ticket. I was driving a back road. You're not required to speak to the police ever. Do your lawyer a favor and shut up. Seriously. It's the people that can't stop talking, Douglas, that the lawyers just don't want the case. They have so much more work for them, cut out for them, if you've just talked and talked. Just give me the ticket. I'll get a lawyer. I did get stopped, and I was like, hello, officer. I know what I did. Can I get a warning instead? He asked me if I was going to break the law again. Like, no. What's the right answer? Being tased is an electrifying experience. It's shocking. My sister and I once had a flat on interstate. Trooper pulled over to help. I had a risky dink jack, as far as the jack to lift the car up you're talking about. So he asked if he could change my tire for me. He changed the tire, followed us to the... So that's pretty good, Roxanne. That's a good experience. I've heard of police officers who will pull over when you're changing a tire, and they'll just set their car up sort of like in back and a little further out towards the main road to give you sort of a buffer. And then they sit in the car and watch you as you change the tire. So you got the better experience. You had the upgrade where they actually helped you. If I get pulled over, I'm going to call Matthew, says Abby. You need to know what to do first. That's the thing. A lot of the officers don't want you on the phone when you're actually pulled over. They'll ask you to hang up. I had a good friend who was pulled over for speeding. He asked why she was going so fast, and she said she was late for bingo. That's a good reason. I pulled over to the next exit, put air in the tire for you. Can't thank them enough. There's some good guys out there that when they've got time, they'll definitely help you out. Let's see. I'm reading through all your stories of who got pulled over when. I told the officer I wasn't going to do what I did today, but I am going to do it again later. Little truth, you know. I'll probably speed again, but not today. Let's see. One time I got a ticket at a stop sign. Apparently did a rolling stop. We call those California stops. Nothing against California people, but that's what they called them when we were growing up. Apparently I did a rolling stop. The cop asked me if I didn't know what a stop sign was. I told him back in Australia we have roundabouts because of kangaroos. Old mad lady still works the best, said Jojo Peter. Alexis, you're late. I'm just excited, Alexis. I'm glad you're here, but I'm glad you're late. I'm just excited that the chat commands are working again, and I'm still frustrated that the tech support has not responded yet to fix it on their end, and I had to fix it myself. My dad puts the supporting cop stickers on his cars. Seems to work. He's a speeder. Flirting never works for me. All guy cops around me. Yeah. You've never been pulled over because you've never driven a car. DMB, that's amazing. Wow. Let's see. My mom ended up getting a ticket anyway, but the cop was nice to her. She did an illegal U-turn. Telling you to hang up your phone is a violation of the law. They might ask you though, which they do sort of under the color of authority. So so it still might be breaking the law. Let's see. Have you seen Brian Walsh? Okay, this is great. Twisted Branches. Yes, this is. I haven't seen the court appearance. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Let's see if this will work. Why is my Google not searching? There we go. So the bloody knife found in basement. Let's go to videos. See, NBC Boston. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Just 1 second here. Pause this one. Okay. Give me a second. We'll put this up on the screen. This is the missing wife situation, right? And this is still like developing. This is fairly new, right? We've got a lot of information that's not yet been revealed in this case. Okay. Put this on the other screen. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to take this audio here, see if I can get this to work. I've not seen this one before. Sorry, that little box over the top of it is my Zoom window, which I don't need right there. I'll bring it over here where I can watch it. I'm not hearing any audio. Let me hold tight for just a minute. Let me get this fixed. There should be audio on that one, but I'm not seeing it. It's because I muted it. I'll rewind it again.
Is the wife of this defendant.
Okay, we'll try that again.
Mr. Brian Walsh, this is complaint 230136 out of Cohasset. You're charged with intimidation of a witness on the 8th of January 2023. A not guilty plea with the end.
Do you understand that charge, Mr. Walsh? Yes. I'll hear from the Commonwealth.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Lynn Beeland for the Commonwealth. Your Honor, the charge before the court right now, the defendant is charged under the intimidation, that being misleading the police in the course of an investigation. The investigation was into the missing person of Anna Walsh. Anna is the wife of this defendant. She's 37 years old. They have 3 children, 2, 4, and 6. Anna Walsh was last seen on New Year's Day about between 4 and 6 a.m. in the morning.
Sorry, Alexis.
The defendant indicated that she left the house to go, she works in Washington, D.C. The defendant indicated in the subsequent interview that she left the house around 6 a.m. taking an Uber or Lyft to go to the airport, where she was going to go to work in D.C. That was the last time she was seen. In the course of the investigation, police were notified around January 4th by her employees in Washington, D.C. that she had not shown up for work on January 4th. That was the first time that she was notified that she was missing. Up until this point, the defendant had not notified anyone that she was missing. In the investigation, was determined that she actually had a plane ticket for January 3rd, which she did not use, and did not show up at the airport, nor her D.C. job or her apartment in D.C. It was indicated that the defendant
$500,000 bail? Is that what they said?
They checked, police checked during the course of this investigation. There was not a Uber or any kind of Lyft that had picked her up on January 1st. In fact, in the course of the investigation, it was determined that her cell phone pinged in the area of the house, which is located on Chief Justice Cushing Way, that her phone pinged on the 1st and the 2nd, which is after the defendant had said she had left. Additionally, the defendant right now was on house arrest, pending sentencing in federal court. Part of that probation and condition, he was to report his whereabouts if he was to leave the house. He indicated as part of the investigation, when police spoke with him, that on January 1st, he went to his mother's house.
Lots of plexiglass
However,
here in this courtroom.
It took a lot longer because he got lost going to his mother's house in Swampscott. He also subsequently indicated and stated to the police that he went to Whole Foods and CVS. Police subsequently did surveillance and checked. There was no surveillance.
Alright, I put my hand to my chest and act ill sneezing face. I then get taken to the hospital via ambo and still get a ticket and the fees associated with getting my car out of the pound and hospital bill face with tears of joy face. With tears of
was
joy.
checked by several police during this time frame. These statements caused a lot of delay.
I'm still working on getting this
police now were
to show up
focusing on the
right.
North Shore.
Let's see how we can do this.
He further indicated that on January 2nd, as he was supposed to report in, that the only
my hand
time
to my
he left
chest,
is that he went
and I'll
to
act
take his son
ill.
for some ice cream.
Then get taken to the
Surveillance
hospital. I'm going to
checked
pause this
during
for just a minute. Taken to the hospital via ambulance, and I still get a ticket and the fees associated with getting my car to pound. You got hit. You played like you were sick, and you get taken to the hospital via ambulance. Then you get the ticket on top of that. Oh my goodness! And the impound and the doctors. Wow, that's a big loss on your front. I would not play the ill card, Myra, on your next traffic stop. Okay, so let's catch the rest of this.
Investigation indicated that the defendant, in fact, on January 2nd, sometime after 4 o'clock, went to the Home Depot, which is in Auckland. He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape. He's on surveillance.
Okay. So basically, he went and he went to the store and said, "Do you have the Dexter package? Because I need all the items needed to clean up a murder." And they're like, "Oh, sure, it's on aisle 7." And they went down and he got all that stuff. Spent $450 on all that stuff. Don't you know that if you're buying those things, you're supposed to buy other things? You're supposed to mix in items that would make those items together. I'm not going to give advice. I'm not giving advice, okay? But if you're trying to not draw suspicion to yourself, don't just buy the items you would need to clean up after a crime. You get some other stuff as well.
Surveillance at that time on January 2nd, even though he said he never left the house. Police obtained a search warrant and actually searched the house with crime scene services. During that time, they found blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood.
Could you repeat that last time I missed it?
Yes, in the basement, crime scene services recovered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged. Your Honor, these various statements caused a delay in the investigation, to the point that during the time frame when he didn't report his wife, and
some spicy jerky, pickles, or something
that allowed him time
to throw off the suspicion.
Either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence, in causing a delay. As of this time, Anna Walsh has not been found. So because of that, the Commonwealth is asking $500,000 cash bail. At this time, these are the charges.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Walsh's wife has been missing since January 1st, and it is true that her employer contacted the police on January 4th. However, that was as a result of Mr. Walsh, Brian Walsh, contacting the employer to say, I haven't heard from my wife. The employer suggested that their security team, who was a former law enforcement officer, contact both the Cohasset Police and the DC Metro Police, which he did. Mr. Walsh has given several interviews. We have consented to searches of his home. We have consented to searches of his property. We have consented to searches of his cell phone. I negotiated
Hang on just 1 second. So he doesn't call police. He calls her work and says, I haven't seen her for 3 days, January 1st to January 4th. Work says, hey, we'll try to figure this out. They call the police. So the police are first notified by the work. It does look bad on the husband, but at least he's got hopefully this on record that he called the work. I will say things don't look good for him right now as far as guilt goes. The $450 worth of cleaning supplies, which Weather Watch points out that they would be much cheaper just a year ago. Had he bought, with little foresight, he could have saved a lot of money. But the bloody knife, the blood in the basement. I'm assuming they're going to be able to do DNA analysis and really determine whose blood that is. And 2 guesses. The first one doesn't count. It's probably going to be hers. So this is bizarre, but I the argument that's like, hey, yeah, it's true she's been missing, but you shouldn't have this high of a bond. No, this looks bad.
First Assistant District Attorney, to promote you, Lynn Beeland, on the terms of that to protect attorney-client. He has been incredibly cooperative. The charges are not anything relating, he's not charged with murder. He's charged with misleading investigators by not saying, as I understand it, he went to Home Depot in Rockland. He did say he went to Press in Norwell, and
they didn't have enough tape.
Knows Rockland, Home Depot was right next to Norwell. If in fact he was there, it was next in the town next to him. With respect to,
so he wasn't fleeing.
The other alleged omission is that he was in Brockton and Abington. They don't have him stopping anywhere in those areas, as far as the police report says. He did say that he took his son out twice on the 2nd. He is on home confinement. He has a bracelet on him. A violation has been noticed of him. So if he leaves here, there's a federal detainer.
Okay, so he's got he's got something prior. If he's on house arrest, if he's got an ankle monitor, and he committed this murder while he had an ankle monitor on, is that what they're trying to say? This is the first time I've watched this, so I'm a little bit lost on this. But if this is the first time, let's see. Hang on, I'm trying to see where we were here. Somebody straighten this out. It sounds to me like he has an ankle monitor, and that he allegedly committed a murder. while being monitored. He left the town, but it was like right next door to his town, just to go to Home Depot to get the Dexter kit. That's the only reason he left the area he was supposed to stay in. Love to clean. Honestly, I don't know if I've spent $450 on cleaning supplies over my 28 years on Earth. That's including an on-sale vacuum at Target. We're going back and forth between sunny and downpours and of hail and rain, huge wind gusts, massive waves, sneaker waves for the last 3 days. Douglas, what part of the country are you in? Are you in California area? Looking at the coast pictures behind you, I think that would be West Coast. Matthew Harris, good to have you here, says, recovered, I ate a half a jar of maple burden pickles last night for dinner. Thanks to you. If it was really my fault, you would have eaten the whole jar. Because I did the same. And they were delicious. Everyone's hair is disheveled, including that creep. Yeah, it's funny. There's no wind in the courthouse. The plexiglass blocks all the wind. So I just want to see if somebody can straighten out to me what he did prior, what this Brian guy did before. Let's see, if you buy a bag of chips with 15 cases of beer, it's not a beer run, it's a chip run. Yeah, that's basically what we're saying. When he went to Home Depot and got all the tarp and the tape and the bleach and everything. You'll have to clean when you come to my house, please. Hey, T-Rocks, we'll see you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a member now. Enjoy. Come back often. Okay, I'm just seeing if anybody has some input on this case. Yes, okay, here we go. Douglas says, yep, he's on a federal ankle snitch for something before this. I wonder what... First of all, that makes hiding a body problematic, right? If you're being monitored 24/7. Because it really simplifies the job when it comes to finding the body for the police, because all they have to do is track your GPS ankle monitor. Central Oregon coast. All right, sounds good. Beautiful background there. Yeah, stay safe there. You guys have a couple storms pounding at that coastline. Ankle monitors don't work. Don't ask me how I know. Maybe yours was faulty. House arrest for fraud. Okay, Deb. So he's got a fraud conviction. I can't concentrate on anything with all the women with guns in the courtroom. There are quite a few, right? Let's see. Okay, so let's catch the rest of this. So it's a fraud conviction that had his prior with the ankle monitor.
He will be taken to federal court, and I would suggest that on the bail violations in federal court, the appropriate place to decide those conditions of release is in the federal court. I would ask for low bail or no bail, and to let the federal courts decide this. He's not going anywhere. He hasn't gone anywhere since January 1st. He's been in the house. That's true. He's been in the house with police almost 12 hours a day. I've been at the house with him, with police, for at least 8 hours a day. Well, not yesterday, but yesterday the police were at his house and he was at my home. But Friday and Saturday I was at his house.
Did you hear that?
8 hours.
That he was at my home? Is that like one of the perks? You get to hang out with your public defender at her home? Am I the only one person that heard that?
With police
I'm going to go back just a little bit.
House with him, with police, for at least 8 hours a day. Well, not yesterday, but yesterday the police were at his house and he was at my home.
He was at my home.
But Friday and
That's
Saturday,
what she said. He was at my home.
8 hours with police officers present.
Something to do with fake Andy Warhol paintings.
They're changing evidence or.
Good morning, Jared. Hello from Australia.
The charges are.
Good to have you here.
To mention.
Natty says, Culliver, you are awesome. He is super generous. Thank you so much for your support, Culliver.
I suggest on those charges.
It's take a client home day.
A regular person, as everybody.
Yeah, Matthew, you've been doing it wrong.
That would be a no bail situation. with respect to violation of conditions of his federal bail.
You're
that is
supposed to
most
take the clients
appropriately
home,
dealt with in the
feed them
federal
dinner.
court.
I mean, they're paying
Thank
you
you very
top
much,
dollar
Your
for a
Honor.
reason.
Bail is set at $500,000 cash, $5 million surety. Can we get a 30-day date, Ms. Minor, please?
So, $5 million surety,
what date?
500,000 cash.
You tell me any.
He has to come up with the 500,000
would
cash.
be, we would do this by
It's a Freudian slip.
cost of correction.
Oh my goodness.
Richie, I want you to keep the.
Yeah, if I can
I
just
have a
look.
copy of the warrant, so keep that in the file, please.
Thank you.
Samantha's going to a neighborhood barbecue. Take care. Have a good one.
Bail is set at $500,000 cash. You have a right to appeal that bail to Superior Court. If you make this bail and get arrested or charged with any more offense while this case is pending, you could be held up to 90 days without bail. We're going to pick a conference date within 30 days.
Yeah,
Is Thursday, February 9th available?
Thursday, February 9th is perfect.
Thank you.
February 9th.
Ooh, unison. Thank you.
Video minute, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So he's the husband who is suspected of killing his wife. There we go. I'm not the brightest of war lawyer, but I wouldn't want a client knowing where I live at all, says that guy. My lawyer may be slacking. Seriously, I didn't get the full service that I had paid for. Monitors are easy to defeat if you understand the principles. On a globe, yes, there are different ways, because I did monitoring, not of ankle monitors, but I monitored servers. So there are different ways you can monitor. Some things are set up, so some devices are set up to report when a violation occurs, when an exception occurs, when a threshold has been exceeded. So whether that means I'm going to be outside of the GPS area where I'm allowed to be, if I go outside of that area, I will report, and it's an outbound reporting. Other things are always report and just give status updates, and then the monitoring is done remotely. This is more traditionally how it's handled. So a remote monitor will get the report from the device and say, okay, the conditions it's reporting back would make it a violation. So like it's telling me where it is, and on my side I can see that it's outside where he's supposed to be. So there's different ways to handle that. If you have one that reports out, that basically says I'm going to always say where I am. It's like a GPS ping being sent to the police. Okay, if you can stop the communication, if you can say wrap it in a Faraday cage type thing. I'm not suggesting this is something you do, but it's possible that it will not report where it's at. Now, it's possible that it logs those locations internally, so after the fact, they might be able to pull that data either remotely or physically with a connection to get that. But it's possible to do it. Anyway, I would not recommend trying to defeat it intentionally, but it's fun to know how they work. What was he doing at her home? Seriously, I hope that comes out. They were sharing a jar of pickles. Abby says, do we have an email, Addie, we can spam you so we can get sponsored by the pickles? I do have an email address. It's listed on my about page of on my YouTube channel. That's a way. I would love for you guys to spam actually Walmart with very polite and well-worded requests, asking them to sponsor the channel. Not with the Walmart brand, but just with the spicy maple bourbon pickles that they produce. Buddy, hello for Debbie. Debbie sent an image. Little buddy, hey there, bud. It's a cute little dog. If I call his name, he's gonna look at the screen. Hope he can hear me. So thank you, Debbie, for that little text on the burner phone. Let's see. Getting caught defeating a monitor will get you an escape charge. Yes, you don't want to do that. Fracture says, I've been to my family lawyer's home. She was my lawyer when I was in the CPS myself, and she did all my court stuff with my kids and got me custody of 3 of my grandkids. She calls me her daughter. Okay, so that's a little different than a criminal defendant, right? If you're doing criminal defense, it's take a client home day is not the recommended process. Poor kids. We should have a GoFundMe pickle fund. I'm all right, Kolvar. Thank you very much. You've been very generous. I will be able to afford pickles for sure. What's Walmart's email? Someone could draft a letter and we can spam them. It has to be unique. If it's all like photocopied, the same thing, it doesn't go as well. But generally, if you send them, here's what you do. You reach out to them on social media where they're most active. So you search whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, something like that. Reach out to them with a compliment. And then while you're complimenting them, you say, hey, have you thought about doing this? This is, Recovery Addicts needs your sponsorship. Who was the angel that gifted me a membership? That was probably Kolvar. Bite me. I think that was Kolvar. He was handing them out like candy earlier. Buddy heard me call his name and went to the screen. That's awesome, buddy. Let's see. Usually cause all the problems, I think. Or Weather Watch. Weather Watch has also been gifting them. So Bite Me, I'm not sure. I could scroll up and see. It might be off my screen already. I think it's off. The screen has a short memory. Okay, I put the pickles on everything. For those that don't know, for those who wandered in here and wondered why we're talking about pickles instead of true crime, I like pickles, and I'm not shy about it. But in my love of pickles, I accidentally or somehow had the occasion to try spicy maple bourbon pickles, and it changed my life. And now I can't stop talking about it, really. And so I recommend it. And very few people, I won't say no one, but very few people try them and say they don't like them. Because my kids don't like the spicy maple bourbons. Not all my kids, I should say. Matthew Harris is working on a power of attorney video. That should be awesome. Love to have that. Membership gifts randomly chosen. Cat, they are. I wish I could just hand them out to specific people because there are some people I definitely would give them to right away. But YouTube chooses. They say they choose based on activity on the channel. So if you participate in chat and you're there frequently, you're supposed to have a higher odds of winning one. But really, they choose. Looked into Buddy Boy's charges and supposedly he stole 2 Warhol paintings from a friend, then created replicas of them himself. Oh my goodness. He's like, oh, I could do this. I could be a famous artist. I can replicate these. And he tried to sell those while listing the real ones on eBay. Oh, so he was trying to double dip even. He's selling the real ones and the fake ones. Let's see. Thank you for the link here. I just got them sent to me right now. Lindsay, was that you? Yep, that's Lindsay. Thank you. Sent me the link about these charges. Lynn Man pleads guilty in connection with missing Warhol paintings. So that's why he's got the ankle monitor on, to try to keep him away from museums, art museums. Dilly Pickle says, I need to send you some great pickles from Oklahoma. Dilly, if they're that good, first of all, make sure it's a small jar. I don't want you to have to spend a fortune trying to send them to me. But I'm working on getting a post office box. I think we're going to get this sorted. The issue was the post office. I'm not trying to game the system, but the post office wants like prime real estate money for these boxes, and I'm trying to think. I don't know what size something is that somebody's going to send me. So I want the smallest box possible because if nobody sends me anything, I don't want to pay for all this space in the post office, right? But then I read in the fine print that if someone sends me something that's larger than the 5 inches by 5 inches, letter slot that I rent, they will then put it in just a package holder for me for free. So why would anyone pay for the large box if you don't have to, and you get the free package delivery locked up for you for the small one? So that's what I'm going to do if I can get to the post office maybe today before they close. Let's see, they're shipping them to Bulgaria? What can I do? Lily, what are you talking about as far as the pickles? Man. Carol says, upon your recommendation, I will send my son the spicy bourbon pickles. They're so good. He might be able to get them wherever he is. They're usually carried in almost all the Walmarts, and they're $3.84 a bottle. So they're good. Anyway, it's wonderful. It partners well with true crime. Just sent the FBI memo about its crimes to the burner account. Thank you, Lindsay. I've got those here. I've got them pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and give those a read. Did you miss the police chase? Bite me, you did. It was a short one with the out of Arkansas. A high-speed pursuit of a pizza delivery vehicle, which had been reportedly stolen. And you know how Arkansas does it. The first chance they get, they'll put you in the ditch, regardless of your speed. And this one did not disappoint. They went ahead and tapped the back end of that pizza delivery car at about 108 miles an hour is what I saw on the speed. That's when they made contact. Remarkably, the pizza vehicle did not roll. It slid around, did not roll, was able to continue on a little ways, and then got 2 further pit maneuvers. And one officer just rammed it. And the officer that rammed the vehicle ended up flipping his own vehicle. And so it was a good one. But Arkansas, it needs more police cars as of last week. They have a catchy name. I love saying spicy maple bourbon. I trip over it a little bit because I start salivating as soon as I start saying the word. And then it gets difficult to talk. I think the only reason to pay for a large box is if you can access stuff 24/7. Otherwise, you have to get the package when they're open. Yeah, and I'm cool with that. I will watch out for the PO box. I'll try to get it done today. Do not. Oh, Katrina, this needs to be bold. I should probably pin this message. I will. I'll pin this one. Do not buy the habanero mango pickles. They're not good. The 2 pickles they look almost identically. They're stocked on the shelf right next to each other. But the habanero mango pickles are disgusting. Like everything that could be wrong about a pickle, it is. And they're right next to the best pickles in the world, and they look almost identical. Read the label carefully when you're buying them, because if you buy what you think are spicy maple bourbon pickles and you open them and you taste a habanero mango pickle, that's when I get the hate mail. And we don't want that to happen. Congrats over 5K subscribers. Yes, thank you, Miss L. It was so exciting this last week to see that happen. As it was really, I guess as Koberger was flying across the country, that really boosted the numbers a little bit with how many people were interested in that. So that was great. We're gonna follow a couple cases that will probably bring in a lot more people, especially with Sarah Boone coming up. We've got the Murdaugh case out of South Carolina, which is going to be very interesting to follow. Also happens about the same time. We're going to have to sort of split our attention for part of that. Let's see. Is it legal to mail pickles to Canada? Asking for a friend. Well, what's the penalty for getting caught? That's my question. Does the Border Patrol just get to take them and eat them? Matthew Harris says, when I make it big like you, I'm going to profess my love of chocolate. Maybe I'll get a Hershey sponsorship. Hey, at least you've got a plan. And Matthew Harris, you're there. You've already got the professional skills behind you in the channel. Just any minute now, you're just going to explode on the internet in viral goodness. Debbie says, Recovery Addict, this has been bothering me. Have you heard about how the homeless people in California are doing through the flooding? Debbie, I have not. The homeless situation in California is awful. I have personal feelings about this that I think that politically it could have been handled differently to not get to the point where it is. But that doesn't change the fact that there are people sleeping on the streets, and now you bring in flooding, and it's a big issue. I don't know. I'm sure that it's going to be covered a little bit in the news, but it's not going to be the top story because other people are affected, and the homeless generally are down the rung as far as public perception goes. It's one of those, the unseen group of people. But thanks for thinking about them. Hopefully we've got some help there. I sent you a Grady Judd vid link, funny, on a globe. Let me check this out. Was it to the burner phone? Let's see. There we go. It says, please regard the previous links. Disregard, so I'll disregard that one. Let's see. You're sending me bad links. It says it can't get there. It's not working. I do like Grady. I actually have one pulled up if you want one. This is from, I think this is from this last week. Let's see if I can bring this up. We'll watch one more together before we wrap up here. We're on channel 7. Did that work? Nope. Well, because I hit the wrong button. I forgot I was using my burner phone for switchers. There we go. So there's 7. Okay, we'll give this one a play with some audio.
Okay, we need something lighter for a minute. So, you know, there are times in this job and career that you know it has to be true because you can't even make it up. So let me introduce you to Martin Gonzalez Garcia.
Good old Martin.
This guy is not scheduled to be able to complete college as a Rhodes Scholar. All right?
He's not a Rhodes Scholar.
This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I mean, I'm just guessing. Thinking out loud, you know. But on the 29th of December, at about 1:10 in the morning, we get an alarm at a Dollar General out in Poinciana. And we respond to the alarm and find there's been a burglary and a theft. So we start the investigation, and we have some video of the guy who breaks into the store. Well, the manager looks at this video and goes, well, I recognize that guy. I talked to him about a cell phone. He wanted a cell phone. Interestingly enough, there's a cell phone stolen from the burglary. And not only that, he asked about employment.
Oh, good.
I gave him an application. Well, not only that, I got his phone number. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said?
Okay. He says this all the time. He's like, did you hear that? That's his catchphrase. This dude, he goes to Dollar General, asks about a cell phone, like he's going to try to buy the guy's cell phone or something, and asks about employment, swaps information. So the guy's like, oh, let me put you my number. Here's, you know, if you want to work here and everything. And then it turns out he goes back and robs it later. Myra, by the way, thank you for saying the channel's great. I love that you found it. We do go live every weekday. We're located in North Carolina, so just north of you a little ways. But glad to have you here. Let's catch the end of this.
I didn't stutter. We had his phone number, and the deputy who's investigating it go, yeah, I recognize that guy from the neighborhood. So we look for him all through the night, and the night shift goes home. They come back to work that night. Now look, I know, look, y'all look at me. I'm not drinking, okay? I'm not on intoxicating drugs. At 18:55 hours at night, we get a 911 hang-up. A 911 call. Did you hear that? A 911 call. I'm sober as most judges right now.
Most judges.
We get a 911 call. Our deputies respond to Cardinal Street in Poinciana to a vacant house with a for sale sign in the yard. So we're checking the house. That's where the 911 call came from. The sliding glass door is open. So we go in and we check it out, and voila. There's Martin, along with his girlfriend, Alicia Ocaso. She's 22. That's right, they're in the house. So we go in and we, of course, take them into custody. Martin confesses to both of the burglaries. Ashlis, she confesses to her burglary that they're in the house. And here's what she said. I swear she said this. It's hard for me to even get this out. She dialed 911 to have a deputy come there to help them move their belongings and take them to the airport so that they could fly back to New York. That they don't like it in Florida anymore. Did you hear that?
Okay. So they robbed the place. Okay. They robbed the Dollar General. They're hiding all their stuff in an abandoned house, and they call 911 to get help hauling this stuff to the airport so they can fly up to New York because they don't like it there anymore.
Did you hear that she dialed 911 from inside the house that they'd broken into so we could help them pack up and give them a ride to the airport so they could return to New York? You have to be from New York to do something like that. Or you could have been from Baltimore because he used to be there. Or he has an outstanding warrant in Cleveland, Ohio. You could be from Cleveland. But for some reason, I don't think, even as inclined as Baltimore and New York is to not enforce the law, that you would think it's okay to commit a burglary and dial 911 to catch a ride out of the place. That's right. They didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Well, there is something wrong with it. You know, in New York, they're not going to hold you responsible for a minor burglary like that with nothing stolen out of the house. You know, they're going to let you go or have no jail bail, or I don't know what their deal is up there, but newsflash, they weren't in New York, they weren't in Baltimore, they weren't in Cleveland, they were in Polk County, Florida. And in Polk County, Florida, we lock you up.
We lock you up.
New phone, new cell phone, girlfriend, we took all of that stuff, and we gave them a ride. It wasn't to the airport.
Nope.
It was to the county jail. But given the circumstances in New York City, hey, maybe the county jail in Polk County is better than New York City. It's certainly safer than New York City.
He does not pull any punches. So he feels about New York.
I have seen some craziness in my life, but if this is the beginning of 2023, we've got a lot of craziness to see this year. But I don't know of anyone who's ever said, hey, I'm in the middle of a burglary here, but I'd like a ride to New York. Can you take me to the airport? She said that. We thought she was kidding. She wasn't. Now, you can go ahead and ask any questions you want, but I don't know how you make sense out of that. I guess you say, well, what do you think, honey? Well, we're not in New York anymore. Give me a kiss goodbye, because we're not going to get to stay in the same jail cell in Polk County. It's crazy.
He drops him on the floor.
Y'all have a good day. Help us catch these bad guys that are shooting up innocent children.
Are there any like descriptions of cars or anything?
Not yet. And we have some information, but we haven't focused it down. I mean, we're doing the normal. This is a shoe leather type of investigation, so we will release other information as we can focus down. But we think we'll create more distractions for ourselves and the community at this early stage to be releasing stuff. Okay? Next time you go to the Dollar General and pick up an application and leave your phone number to go to work, don't come back and do the burglary in the middle of the night. See y'all later.
All right. We love him. He's amazing. There's so much you can spend all day just watching him give those press conferences. He has some hilarious ones involving McDonald's. He's got just some really good stuff out there. He's just tougher on crime. You know, he handles it, and he's not afraid of really shaming people for their stupid criminal decisions. Didn't burglary used to be referred to as breaking and entering? Well, burglary is what they call it when you break and enter for the purpose of committing another a crime, like a felony. So I think there's still breaking and entering, but if you just break and enter just to break and enter and then leave and you weren't going to do anything in there, I don't think they'd call it burglary. Hey, you leave my state out of this. There are dumb criminals everywhere. There are, DMB, there are. He He just made fun of him a little bit. Not going to lie, I would have knocked this guy out, says Natalie. You can't fix stupid. That's another one of his great lines. A new Grady fan here. He's great. Just Google him. Polk County Sheriff press conference, and you will have videos for days. Grady don't play. It's sad when you're worse than the Florida man. Natalie doesn't like him. Natalie's not a fan. The department's under investigation by the feds for civil rights violations. Yes, they are. Let's see. My two favorite cities happen to be very unpopular, but that's okay. Los Angeles and New York. He has a career in stand-up if he wants. He's actually, his delivery is not like the best comedic timing, which is I think why it's so funny sometimes. It's just genuine. That's just how he is. I just imagine that's how he talks every day. I'd like a job application, but if you don't hire me, I'm going to rob your store. Shoe leather investigation, by the way, is when cops only apply the bottom of their shoe to the suspects till they confess. I'm not totally wrong. I'm not totally wrong here. Yeah, so it has other meanings, right? So it could mean we're putting the thumb screws to the guy, trying to get an answer out of him. It's all Grady in Polk County. Abby says, we're so close to 100 likes. Do it. We did. We hit 100 likes just now. Thank you very much. The McDonald's one is better. But the McDonald's one is everyone's seen that one. This one's just from this last week, from the start of 2023. Yay. Sends that jar of pickles. All right. Here's what we got. We've had some fun today. I'm super excited just that I fixed the chat. That's going to make it a lot more fun. It allows me to follow things a little closer and be aware of what's happening in chat. We have some cases coming up that we're going to be discussing. Let's see. I just heard Lori Vallow. What's happening here? Just heard Lori Vallow is claiming she has an alibi for all the murders and she wants to be in contact with Chad. Is this new, or am I just late discovering this? Nothing surprises me in that case anymore. Unfortunately, we're not going to have TV coverage of that. So it's a little trickier to find information out, but we'll have, I think, audio available after the fact. So good. All right, so it's a little late in the day. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. We're going to wrap up here. We will be back tomorrow morning. We do this every morning at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I'm in North Carolina, so that's about time that I get going in the morning after everything and getting set. So thank you very much for being here. We will, if you need more legal content, I was about to say this. If you need more legal content, please go find videos on Matthew Harris's channel. He's a great friend of the channel. I will say a big shout out to Colabar today. Thank you so much for the generosity you've shown the channel. You're a scholar and a gentleman. I definitely appreciate that. Thanks on behalf of all those who received those gifted memberships as well. It's a lot of fun to have that happen. And Mrs. R.A. says thank you as well, because she sure saw what the split of that was. So thank you. See you all wonderful people tomorrow. Please stay safe. The weather's crazy out there, especially on the West Coast. So stay safe. See you in the morning, sunshine. Adios. Thank you, Jared T. Miss Chris, big waves to you as well. Which sheriff was saying it was okay for people to shoot breaking and entering? Debbie, I don't know, but some states it's legal. It depends on the state law. If they're in possession of a weapon and trying to break and enter, and even in Utah, for instance, you can shoot them before they even enter if they're trying to get in legally. I'm not recommending that, but I'm just saying that's what the law is right now. Right on, Josephine. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, everybody. Pickles, not politics. Please, tonight when you go home, give a hug to all those people you love. Smile at somebody, make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe till we meet again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Unless there's a police chase or something, and then we'll be on tonight. So watch your notifications. Thank you all. I appreciate the subscribes, the likes. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to all the members who contribute to make this channel what it is. We have some amazing people in chat that do so much behind the scenes with the burner phone. Amber, I'm looking at you. You've been phenomenal there as well. Appreciate every single one of the tips you guys send me. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.